Here in Elgato, fashion matters. It decides everything. Fluffy shoulder pads, commander in charge. But the king, that's me. I have a crown on.
You're not the king.
Shut up, I am. And you can be too. Let's do this. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, hunters all. It's time to stand tall and look goddamn good. Today I bring you a fresh new selection of layered armor sets that redefine the term fashion hunting. You guys have brought it, and what you have brought is glorious. So, without further ado, let's waste no time pleasuring our eyeballs. That was weird. That was weird to say. I admit that was weird to say. Yes, I'm still going to leave it in. No, I don't know why. With a duo of honorable mentions that both originate from the land of fairy tales. First and foremost, Grandma, what big teeth you have. Grandma, what big furriness you have. Well, you see, grandchild, you just look so goddamn good with this Red Riding Hood set by Tommy. Yes, indeed. I think this is really fantastic. It is a really novel way to use the pirate coat to make the coat more of just a red cloak. The hood, of course, is a perfect complement to it, and the rest of the outfit just, yeah, I mean, it's full-on Little Red Riding Hood. Little Red Riding Hood would have a much bigger problem skipping through the woods in the Monster Hunter world, and I feel like the big bad wolf would be the tiny lame wolf in that context, but hey, it's a really nicely done set, and I am very much impressed. Now then, next up, a warning, ladies, this might be too much for you to handle, because it's Prince Charming. I love this! This is great! Wow! Outside of this being, you know, thematically themed on a classical take on Prince Charming, it's just a bloody good-looking set. A glorious combination of golden armor, a great use of the Guardian boots, 4 different sets coming together, including the harp crown, which is just nigh impossible to get a hold of. I do have a guide on how to if you're interested in getting it yourself, but generally every part of this is just perfect, and honestly, I'm tempted to shamelessly steal it, or at least elements of it, at least for a little while, because I really am impressed. And honestly, shout out to a fantastic set of screenshots and videos showing it off with massive amounts of style, especially the gold popping in an otherwise black and white world. You really are, well, on top of the fashion game, Sulwyn. You seriously are. Make no mistake, if this wasn't thematically nice and fairy tale-y Prince Charming with the Little Red Riding Hood, this would be in the top 5. This is quality, and I absolutely love it. Alright then, as is tradition, it is time for Cosplay of the Week! Oh, wait, no, before we do Cosplay of the Week, we have to make sure we're prepared. Yes, that's right, we have Ein's old gown. I really can't say it properly. In fact, I've never had to say it out loud. But Overlord coming in here. And yeah, I mean, it's kind of perfect, is it not? The Somnicanth and Adele making the perfect flowy roby bottom. The Sinister Grudge is finally the perfect chest piece for him, and of course the skull helmet really caps it off, and it's really fun to see, and pretty much just a pitch perfect cosplay, at least in the realms of Monster Hunter. And I do wonder how the monsters would get on if that encounter was actually going to happen. In any case, Overlord by God's Heart. Then let's get to the list proper with our 5 best sets of the week. In 5th place, did anybody call for the doctor? No? Good, because the nurse is in. Yes, my Lord Sonji, this is really quite good. I have no idea if this is a genuinely helpful healing nurse, or secretly kind of like a horror, murderous nurse that would chase you through an abandoned asylum, because honestly, Kezuama can go in both directions. I also weirdly kind of get Injection Fairy Lily vibes. No, just me, okay. Especially with it, you know, hunting monsters while looking like that. I guess the best medicine to heal monster wounds is to kill the monster before it can inflict them on other people. So, you know, in that regard, this is an exceptional outfit and profession, and I think it's just a really fun take on Kezu with the perfect accompaniments to really sell it as a proper nurse outfit. And it's really just great. Going in at number 4 then. Well, this is a submission with actual lore behind it. The spirit of a dead Zinogre who died in a cruel way, possessing an unwitting hunter. It is watched over by a pair of Shikigami attendants. Yes, this is Zinogami by Lucent, and I really am impressed with this. It is hard to make 90 plate metal look good alongside the more Eastern waist and swords, but this really does. The wolf mask, absolutely perfect in tying it all together with the lore. Of course, the Palamutes and Palico tying into it as well, and it's just a really solidly put together set. I love the shade of tealy greeny blue. I love the weapon choice too. That ties in really nicely, and I think it's just a really impressive set in that if you told me on paper this was what was going into it, there is no way I would think it would actually look good, but no, damn, does it look good. Next up then, Glory! Yes, the name of the set is Glory. It is by Dark and Cold, and wow! It is undeniable that silver and gold are beautiful together, and this is a beautiful implementation of that classic color scheme. It is using 5 different pieces to come together to be this resplendent, glorious, like Queen Knight. And yeah, I mean, Glory is the best name for it, because a set like that really does scream it. The shine, the color scheme, and just, my god, kind of another one I want to shamelessly steal, if I'm completely honest with you. This really, when I first looked at it, was a, yep, that's going in, that's the one, you know, you just know. And looking at this, you just no. So very, very nicely done, and I especially love the waist and legs combination. They go so well, and weirdly do fit beautifully with Seregios. It's just perfect. As is our second place, which I like to call, well, character from a different RPG accidentally found himself in Monster Hunter and has no idea what's going on. I realize that's probably a bit wordier than it could have been, but hey, it looks good. I wish I could tell you who it was by, but I cannot for the life of me see a name anywhere attached to any part of this submission, so I apologize if it is there and I've missed it, but no, I am very impressed. It is very understated, right? It looks kind of like a Souls character. It looks like a standard, more traditional, less fantasy RPG character. It is a beautiful mesh of armor. The commission with the hawk waist is particularly inspired, and then the origin really sets it off, but that perfect Bazel mask as well on top is just, well, the cherry on said top. The Bazel longsword is a great choice as well, and every part of it is just really quite good. I love subtler sets that look incredible and work so well. I think there is a serious art to that, and this is a master at that craft. Finally then, in first place is, again, one of those sets that on paper you would never think would work. Imagine combining Geismagorn with Bahari's scientist set. No, ridiculous, right? Well, no, you're seeing just how good that ends up being. Granted, it's just Geismagorn arms, but again, it is a 5 different set combination, a great weapon choice too, and I adore that Seregios helm poking out of the scarf from the professor's jacket, and the slight hints of purple to really give it that pop, while having that central white spreading out to a more darker color on the arms, the legs, and the helmet. I mean, you can tell there is some serious thought going on to this. You really see a warrior, but you also, from the professor, see that hint of, well, they know what they're talking about, and it is really just inspired. I am absolutely in love with this combination of armor, and it is one of the best sets I think I've ever seen submitted when you allow for, well, how creatively it is using 5 different pieces that really, again, should just not work together. Alrighty then, guys, that is your fashion of the week. Thank you very much for your continued support on this series. It really does mean a lot, and I would love it for it to continue for as long as possible. So please do like it if you have enjoyed it, subscribe and hit the bell for more, support on Patreon. It really is what keeps it all going, and it means the world. If you want to submit yourself, well, the link to do so is down in the description. Make sure you have screenshots of the pieces, little videos. It really does help sell it. The better you can package it, the better you can show it off, well, the better it's going to be in the list, as you've seen here today, with how amazingly our beautiful submitters have made what they have created shine. And that's really, really cool to see. Oh, and bonus round, I just kind of wanted to throw this in. It's called The Immovable Object. It's by Peanut. It belongs in literally no section of the video. I honestly can't even tell if it's the world's best recording of a screen or an actual screen recording, but all I know is it's ridiculous, and I wanted to show you it, so there you go. I've shown you it. In any case, that'll do. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world a stage. Goodbye.